Welcome back to Covered True Crime. I am Nati, your host, and today on an extra report, we will be discussing Nicholas Godejohn and ways that we can help him or his case. As you all know, he had recently filed for an appeal with the Supreme Court in Missouri that was later denied. So, all not is lost, and we will be discussing in this video in other ways that we can help him. Godejohn, who has no history of violence before the murder, told ABC 2020, "I felt horrible about it. When me and her were in the hotel room, she, meaning Gypsy, kept on telling me, 'Stop crying, stop crying. There's no reason to cry. It was my idea, it wasn't yours.' I did what I did because I loved her. I really wanted a life with her. I really did." Days later, Godejohn was found guilty of the first-degree murder in a June 2015 murder of Gypsy's mother. He was also found guilty of armed criminal action. At his sentencing hearing in February 2019, Godejohn reiterated his motive to commit the crime, saying, "I was blindly in love." That was always very much the case. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 25 years for armed criminal action. It is noted that Nicholas Godejohn was offered a plea agreement from the prosecution for life in prison, but that he wanted to go to trial because he was hoping for a sentence most closely aligned with the 10 years that Gypsy received. Nicholas Godejohn is currently serving a life sentence at the Potosi Correctional Center in Missouri. Due to Nicholas Godejohn's currently denied appeal due to ineffective counsel, there is another way that you can help. So, how can we help Nicholas Godejohn? Upon my research, I ended up stumbling across, and other content creators also is discussing this as well. We came across a YouTube channel called NPG Cornerstone Nation, which actually stands for Nicholas Paul Godejohn. And they're basically stating since the denial of his latest appeal with the Supreme Court in Missouri, they are next going to file a 2254 habeas corpus petition. This petition allows an individual in custody to challenge the legality of their detention in an effort to have their conviction or sentence overturned or modified. So currently, NPG Cornerstone is requesting letters to go to the governor pleading to the commutation power of clemency on Nicholas Godejohn. So what is clemency? They state that clemency is an umbrella term that refers to several mechanisms that allow for the remittance of consequences of a committed crime. Virtually every state constitution authorized the governor or a board of pardons to grant clemency, although terminology, procedure, and structure may vary greatly from state to state. Now, the power of commutation shortens an individual's sentence. If a commutation shortens an individual's sentence to time served, it results in that individual's release. So they ask to keep the main aim of the letter in mind as you write it when you're writing this clemency letter in regards to Nick. Explain carefully why you feel Nick should be granted mercy. Maintain a positive approach throughout. Focus on facts rather than emotions, meaning this is not the letter to express your personal feelings about his ex-co-defendant or your personal opinions about thinking his original trial not being fair. This is only about Nick and his unjust sentence, so keep that in mind. Most importantly, keep the letter of clemency short, 300 words or less. The sender must identify themselves in case of the clemency office wants to contact you to verify its legitimacy. Letters will be welcome from all around the world, not just from the U.S. or the state of Missouri. NPG Cornerstone then shows you an example letter. They said to use your own words, but this is just an example. Dear Governor, my community is deeply concerned about the inhumanity of the sentencing of Nicholas Paul Godejohn. Even though life without parole is the default sentence for first-degree murder, we believe there are special circumstances surrounding this case due to his Asperger's and autism disabilities that we ignored. We feel that as the governor, you should use your clemency power for Nicholas Godejohn. We beg you to consider what his co-defendant received for the same crime. She was sentenced to 10 years with the possibility of parole, but she has only served 8 of those years. As the public, we compassionately feel she is more culpable for being more intelligent, for manipulating him to commit the crime on her behalf. The main fact that it was her mother and he had no other reason to inflict harm, let alone cause DEATH. If it had not been a result of her consistent abuse claims and manipulation grooming for over a year until he agreed. Despite that, in the eyes of the law, his trial was weighed fair. However, the crime was unjust considering the special circumstances of his mental capacity and disabilities. Your commitment to justice, fairness, and compassion is what we expect from you as an elected representative. Given the worldwide attention and the global support he and his case has received, this decision will be unprecedented due to the special circumstances, as well as groundbreaking in its significance. Please assist in addressing what appears to be a miscarriage of justice in the final sentence of Nicholas Paul Godejohn's case. Thank you for your time and consideration. Mr. Godejohn deserves a more fair outcome, and we look forward to hearing about the actions taken. They also provide the address in which the letters of clemency for Nicholas Godejohn will be sent. Please note that there is a deadline, which is October 1st of this year, 2024. So if they can be posted by then, to be sure that Nicholas Godejohn's public defender receives these clemency letters so he can take it beyond and make sure that he gets this letter down to the state officials and the governor. Also, thank you to NPG Cornerstone Nation. To stay up to date with Nicholas Godejohn's updates or any legal information regarding to Nick, please subscribe to the NPG Cornerstone Nation YouTube page. There's also posted a peaceful rally that's going on for Nick at the Supreme Court of Missouri, in Supreme Court in Missouri, happening this October. I will be posting a flyer if you are able to make it to this rally. Remember, it is a peaceful rally for Nicholas Godejohn. And once again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening to Nicholas Godejohn's case and how we can help him. And thank you for all the subs. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday with an all-new case. Bye.
People to know about you and your story, Nicholas.
The parts of my story that would be the main parts that would matter. And basically have it as a life lesson, basically. Tell them, don't be doing this stuff because you never know what it could lead to. And basically be an example of a role model if I could. Because, due to all the publicity Gypsy's getting, and she's getting me that publicity too, I feel like I have a responsibility. I feel like I have to be somewhat of a role model. And because of that, that's part of the reason why I feel like I have something that basically owe up to, basically. I do have restitution to pay to the society, which of course I'll be happy to do. But at the same time, I want to basically let everyone know that I'm not just this cold killer that doesn't have any feelings or anything else like that. I'm a human being. And as they say, human beings make mistakes.